everyone, I'm Ricky Carson. Welcome to or welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about why I decided to move to Washington, D.C. I moved here for a plethora of reasons. A lot of it was a mixture between my actual living accommodations back home in Oregon that were being changed up, and also my desire to really learn about the U.S. legal systems here. Like what I've hinted in a previous video, you can check that out. Actually, I don't know if there's even a video for you to check it out. But what I talked about in a previous video is that I traveled the country for 4 months in a 2012 Dodge Grand Caravan that I converted into a camper van. And that was because my mom was selling her house, and I really didn't have anything to my name, anything really holding me to my hometown of Corvallis or to the state. And living in Oregon has become increasingly expensive and unmanageable to still maintain a certain comfortability, a lifestyle. But obviously that's not unique to Oregon. That's happening literally everywhere around the world, predominantly in Western countries. Also was mentally going through it, and I was just like, you know what, there's nothing for me here. I mean, I have friends and family that I love so much, but I was just like, the life that you imagine yourself having here in Oregon is one that you'll only be able to really have once you have money, once you're able to live out that fantasy of having a nice little bungalow style house on some property with a couple of dogs and one day a family maybe. And I just knew that there's so much more for me out in the rest of the world, and it'd be a waste of life. It'd be a missed opportunity not to utilize my 20s and see other places, be in different situations and stuff. So what I obviously ended up doing is I slowly moved out east and found a flat in Washington, D.C. I've been here for about 2 months now. You know, I feel like I haven't fully experienced the city. I have gone out with a couple of friends who I grew up with or who I met back in Oregon. That has been a godsend because, you know, moving to a new place that you're not familiar with, the identity, the culture, yes, I'm still in the United States, but Washington, D.C., let alone the East Coast, is just a world away from what I'm used to, what I know to, what I'm used to. So that I've been so blessed with that, but obviously I only have 2 friends, and I don't want to exhaust that relationship because one is in law school at Georgetown and the other is working for Congress. So they have their own stuff going on, you know. So I'm trying to find a healthy balance of hey, do you want to get dinner sometime, or how about we maybe go to a movie in a week or something like that. I've gone out. I went out clubbing once to this gay club. I think, what's it called? Is Bunker? I think it's called Bunker. And I ended up it was so weird because I mean I've been to gay clubs before, but never really by myself. And so I was just like, you know what, I'll just go up to the bar, see if the bartender is receptive to having a conversation. And he was. And so I mostly spoke with the bartender for the entirety I was there. I did meet this cool lesbian girl from Florida, and we bonded over lesbianism because she's a lesbian. I was raised by lesbians, you know. But yeah, other than that, I haven't really had much experience of the city. I hope to change that. I really want to change that when I feel like I have money, and I'm currently looking for remote jobs. I was looking for the longest time for in person jobs. I applied to work at this cafe that had a few, this cafe slash gelato place that had a few locations in DC, and the one that I was applying for was on the National Mall in the was it National Modern Arts Museum, and that interview went really well. I was like one of my favorite interviews I've ever done. I think it was one of my best interviews I had ever done. And then, but then, there's this place called Oakberry that's like a Brazilian acai place, and they were interested in me and like potentially like managing, and I was like, that would be great, like leadership experience. It had like the most potential for like development and stuff. I'm naturally someone who is really bad at like making decisions because I will just like, especially if things are kind of moving at a parallel rate, I'm just like freaking out. I'm like, what is the best option? And then I'm kind of like in my head about it, and then I'm just like terrible at like making decisions I'm confident in most of the time, not all the time, clearly. But I was just like, you know what, Ricky, they're gonna be paying more, and you're going to have a better opportunity to go up. And so I took an interview with franchise owner. He offered me a job, and I was like, okay. And so I sent an email to the cafe place, and I was just like, thank you so much for considering me. I've accepted a different job opportunity, and you know, best of luck. I started the process of like getting the staff calendar and whatnot, but it was like taking a little bit longer. And then there's like this Intuit Workforce link that my soon-to-be boss was sending me, and I tried accessing it numerous times, and there was no account associated with my information, but all my information was correct. Like my email, my phone number was 100% correct. So that was really weird. I tried talking to a manager of the store, and he was like, oh yeah, that's something that you're gonna have to talk to the boss about. And I was like, okay. And so I sent a few emails. It was taking like a day or two to respond to each one, and the emails were just really short and kind of like dismissive, but English is also not his first language, so I was like trying to be like understandable of that. But then like 2.5 weeks go by, and I tried calling him, and then he told me to like call him back in 2 hours. I didn't hear from him, and then it was just like to the point where like, bro, you're wasting my time. Like and then I started like kicking myself for turning down the other job that culturally would have been so much better. I made a decision. I was like, I think that this will have the best like the best potential, you know, for money and for personal development and stuff. I was wrong. So it really sucks that now I've just like obviously given up on the Oakberry store, because clearly they aren't serious about hiring me, which is so weird because he's expanding his franchise and you need more people, but I guess he was probably like too cowardice to like tell me stuff has changed, which is really a shame because he made it very clear about like his work ethic and his motto, and he centered it around faith and like treating people with dignity and respect. And the way he was going about like treating me like in terms of hiring, it was just very like he knew I wasn't working, I was trying to get a job, and I allowed myself to be open. And yeah, it's sad because there's lots of people out there like that, not necessarily in this type of situation, but lots of people who are just like two-faced or are just really imperfect human beings trying, but what they're trying is simply not the best. It's not where they need to be at. So currently I'm back to square one again. Yeah, through the help of my mom, and well, one of my moms. I have two. I have two moms. Remember, lesbians. Okay. Um, I've come to the self-realization that the lifestyle that I want for myself, considering my circumstances in life and what I want to accomplish in the future, I think that having a more nomadic life. Sorry, I just ate some delicious homemade chocolate chip pancakes and some turkey bacon. Tastes really good, but my stomach is digesting it, so. Anyway, I digress. But it's really apparent to me that traveling around the world more and connecting with my loved ones, my really dear friends that I had 5 wonderful years of forming, really meaningful and deep connections with. I wanna get a remote job, which is very difficult. Which is why I'm hoping that you guys will subscribe to my YouTube channel and help this turn into something that grows. Like, I am so in love with the world. I'm so in love with people, and I feel like I just want to share that. And as I mentioned in my why my video, why I started YouTube, is that I forgot why I started. What was I thinking? I got so deep into what I was talking about that I completely forgot. Oh, what was it? I don't remember. Anyway. Anyway, I just want to share the world. I want to share my world. I have quite an amazing life story. Talk about character development, talk about plot twists. You guys, right now, I'm just scratching the surface with you. I have a very interesting origin story that is not very, well, it's very it's not very orthodox whatsoever, and hopefully to over a period of time be sharing that more and more with you guys, and not do what I tend to do on first date, which is kind of just give them the entire spiel, and I think some people are a little bit whoa. Whoa, that's a little much. That's a little too different from what I am used to. I'm just projecting. I don't know if that's, I think it's, maybe. I've also gained some weight, but I still look good, right? Yeah, I do. I've gained some weight, and then, but I'm very transparent. I'm still posting stuff on my Instagram and stuff, and my Hinge, and Tinder profiles. I am a bit more chubby around the waist, a little bit thicker around the thighs, and I've been trying not to be too in my head about that, because these people that I've been going on dates with, I know I'm talking about why I moved to Washington DC, and now I'm talking about thick thighs and thick waist, but I've been on a couple of dates. They were pretty bad. Well, one was not bad. One was with a Libra guy who's studying law at he wishes he was studying law at Harvard. He was studying law at Howard, and no disrespect to Howard. Actually, I think I might apply there, but King's College is more what I want. Anywho, he was fine, but I think my weight gain was more than he thought. But it's so weird, because I literally go out of my way not to catfish, so whatever. But also I could tell that he was very also more into, well, we just were on different wavelengths, we couldn't really talk much, because he's never traveled, very very calm and quiet, and he didn't seem to have that much personality. And then when I was after the day, I Snapchatted my cousin, and I was just like, "Oh, this day was so nice, like blah blah blah. Like, I mean, I don't think I'll see him again, but you know, I was just like, off of the was it serotonin of going on a date or whatever." And then I was watching a video that night, and I can't remember what video it was, but this girl was talking about how goes she used to like go on dates and then think that the person was so funny, and then her therapist was like, "Is that person funny, or was it you?" I'm kind of like butchering it, but she made her like go back and realize like what was the moments that were funny, and were those moments from your date or were they from you? And then she was like going back, and she was like, "No, all the times I was laughing, I had made myself laugh. Like I was the light of, like I was the star of the party, and not in like a narcissistic conceited way, but like you're the one who is the most comfortable, the most themselves, and the most engaging." And that's what I realized. Not only in that, not only in that date that I've had, but I realized a lot of dates where the vibes were good, but it didn't go anywhere farther from that. And I'm not saying I'm perfect or anything like that, but I have a personality, you know? I have things to talk about. I have opinions, and I can make people laugh. I can. I can. I can. So I started thinking about that. That's so true. That's so true. I am such a catch, and I have so much personality. So much personality that I'm like, no, I have this guy. You know? Then I went on this really weird date. This guy who I was not really attracted to. This guy was at my gym. I was working out, and then he started talking to me, and I was just like I was having a fine time like talking with him. It was entertaining. I hadn't really talked to anyone in a couple of weeks by then, and so the fact that this person was like wanting to give me attention, I was just like, yeah, I'll entertain it. He was like like heavier than I am, but as someone who has like struggled with weight their entire lives, and a lot of emotional trauma like PTSD that like really really messed up my eating habits and stuff. I was vibing with him, and I was just like, "Ricky, come on, don't be thinking like this about him, because you're vibing with him right now, yeah? Good vibes. And he's at the gym. He's at the gym. He wants to be healthy." And I looked at his I'm being honest. I looked at his earlier Instagram photos from just a couple years back, and he was normal average build, and I was like, he's probably going through something. You've been through something, but that shouldn't like take him out of the running for consideration of your like affection and time. Like if you really do empathize because you've been there, who are you to then, propagate like this fat phobic, unhealthy thinking of people? Because gosh, Ricky, like you don't know how many people you'd be missing out on. Like how many great, good people who could make you feel wonderful and heard. Like I hated that I was thinking about that. So I gave him a chance. Now, I shouldn't have given him a chance, but it wasn't because of his way. Is that he was so creepy. He was so creepy. I really don't want to go into it. There's a TikTok video on there's a TikTok video on my TikTok at Ricky Carson. At Ricky Carson. It's just like, he's just like, after my encounter with him, like on a date, I was just like, how can, like, you're doing life wrong. Like, how can you be conducting yourself in that type of way and manner? Like, he is, I feel like he's so beyond help. Dramatic, but he's 24 and he is exhibiting, like, really, like, systematically, like, problematic behaviors, if not, like, illegal ones. Plus, he also said that, like, there's a guy who he owes $3,000 with, and I'm just like, and I was like, the bank? And he's like, no. Like, okay. Peace. Yeah, so that ended bad. I blocked him on everything. I haven't seen him at the gym since, knock on wood. I really hope I don't, because I actually felt quite unsafe around this guy. Quite unsafe. But anyway, yeah. I moved to Washington, D.C., and I'm here, and I'm gonna go explore it, have adventures, that I can afford. I'm here in D.C. Where I will go next, I don't know. It depends on if I have money. So, if you want to help me, subscribe, please. Because it doesn't only just benefit me, yeah? It benefits you. You're entertained, you got a handsome guy talking to you, and then as time progresses, this handsome guy can upgrade from an iPhone 10 that is on its last legs to a new iPhone. Yeah, better quality videos. Yeah, you want to do that. You want that. We want that, right? And then he has some more money. You can go on a little more trips, and you can see that with it. Oh my god. Subscribe now. You have to. You have to. Anyway, guys, have a good one. Talk to you later. Peace out.